What I'm about to share with you guys today is 15 years of game compressed into an 8-minute video, and these bits of knowledge come from my own personal experience and also from some of the most skilled males in the world when it comes to dealing with females. And in my humble opinion, they are some of the most important things that you could possibly learn as a man. So with that said, let's get right into it, starting with number 1. Now, many guys in today's world are totally confused because they have a girl that likes them or a girl that even loves them, yet she won't actually do anything with them. So what does this mean? One of the most important pieces of game that you can ever learn, in my opinion, pertains to respect. Now, what you have to realize is that just because a girl likes you, it doesn't mean that she is going to follow you to the bedroom, so to speak. Because if a girl does not respect you, she simply will not do anything with you. A girl can like you or love you all day long, but if she does not respect you, she's never going to actually do anything with you. It's really that simple. You could have a girl out there who absolutely hates your guts, but as long as she respects you as a man, she will do things with you that she won't even do with a guy that she likes. This is simply the biological and the evolutionary nature of women. And this is what most guys don't understand. The average man out there with no game thinks that a girl must first like him or even fall in love with him in order to do things with him, but growing up, we've all seen time and time again that this simply is not true. So if girls only do things with guys who they respect, then the only logical question that remains is, how do you make them actually respect you? And this takes us straight into number 2. Now, the easiest way to make a girl respect you is to never allow her to blatantly disrespect you. So many guys in today's world, especially now more than ever before, let girls get away with almost anything. I see it happen every single day when I go out in public, in restaurants, in stores, and pretty much everywhere that I look. And what typically happens is you have a guy who interacts with a girl and the girl does something that blatantly disrespects the guy, especially in front of other people. Now, in case you're wondering, the most common way that a girl will do this is simply by being overly rude to you. Oftentimes, though, the disrespect can be very subtle, so it could be something as simple as the way that she says something to you. You see, girls know something that most guys inherently don't know, and the thing that they know is that guys with no game, they all have something in common. And the thing that they all have in common is that they will tolerate disrespect, not just from girls, but pretty much from anybody. And so girls know that if a guy tolerates blatant disrespect from her, he's probably a pushover, which means he's probably a nice guy, which means he probably doesn't have options, which means she's not going to respect him. Now, based on my personal experience, the prettier a girl is, the more likely it is that she is going to push the boundaries, and the more likely it is that she is going to see if you will tolerate blatant disrespect from her, because pretty girls know something. They know that they can get away with far more than other girls, and the reason why they are able to do this is not just because better looking people tend to get away with more. The main reason is because of how average men treat them. See, most guys out there naturally allow prettier girls to get away with far more than they should, and when somebody gets used to something, they will tend to do it more and more often. They'll tend to push the boundaries more and more over time. So what you guys have to understand is that the overwhelming majority of men tolerate disrespect from females. I don't want to say that most guys out there are simps, but there is some truth to this statement. So when females encounter a man who has game or a man who doesn't tolerate disrespect from them, it really surprises them and it really catches them off guard. And what will happen is they'll think to themselves, wow, what's going on? Is this guy really not going to let me talk to him like that? Is this guy really going to make sure that I'm actually doing my job? The reason why girls will always do things with a guy they respect when compared with a guy that they don't respect is because when you never tolerate disrespect, what you're doing is you're subcommunicating to girls that you respect yourself. And this is probably one of the most important things that a guy can do. When you're somebody who lets other people disrespect you, what you're doing is you are unconsciously showing that you do not respect yourself. And I hate to break it to you, but if you don't respect yourself, women will never respect you, and other men definitely won't respect you, unless there are other men who also don't respect themselves. Now, they say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, which means it's easier to make sure that people respect you from the start or from the first time that you meet them than allow them to disrespect you and then try to fix it later on. And the most common form of disrespect that exists is rudeness. And it is the most common way that girls will use to disrespect you. See, most guys will just let it happen. And once you've allowed a girl to disrespect you from the start, or from the first time that you've met her, it is extremely difficult to change things, just like it's incredibly difficult to change a first impression. See, making girls respect you is all about setting boundaries right from the start. It is about letting not just girls, but other guys know right from the very start that you will not tolerate disrespect from them. If you were to get sent to prison, what happens? The first thing that happens is that other men will test you to see if they can disrespect you or to see what they can get away with. And many times they'll do this in front of other men. And once you have shown right from the start that you will tolerate this disrespect, no man in that prison will be able to respect you. The same is true when it comes to females. And what you have to know going in is that you will not tolerate disrespect. It's not about being loud or being aggressive or throwing drinks at a rude McDonald's employee in the drive-thru. It's about being assertive and showing other people that you respect yourself enough to not tolerate disrespect from other people in the many different forms that may take. It's really about standing up for yourself. And it's only once you stop allowing other people, especially females, to disrespect you, and it's only then that women will truly respect you as a man. And as long as they respect you, they don't even have to like you. Although most girls will naturally fall deeply in love with men whom they respect. Number 3. Now, once again, I have saved the best and the most important point for you guys for last. Now, if you look at most men in today's world, what do they all have in common? The thing that they all have in common is that they are all scared. Scared to say what they really want to say, scared to behave in the way that they truly want to behave. And so if you were to ask almost any man on the planet today, are you free? His response most likely would be yes, but the reality is that most men are not free. Because a man can only be free in the absence of fear. Starting tomorrow, try to go the entire day saying whatever you feel like saying, thinking whatever you feel like thinking, and doing whatever you feel like doing. But make sure you do all of these things unapologetically. And this will give you a taste of one of the most powerful pieces of game that a man can have. You see, men with game understand that life is competition. Every girl out there right now at this very moment has other men competing for her. And as a man, you must compete for the money you want. You must compete for the car that you want, for the house that you want. It's all a game of competition, and it's all basically war. You see, most men are terrified of competition. And the most important thing that I have ever learned over 15 years of studying and experiencing game is that you must thrive on competition. You see, men cannot be scared. You can't be scared of competition. Whether you realize it or not, everything that you have right now, some other guy out there is working his way up trying to take. Everything that you don't have but want, other men are also competing to obtain those exact things. So you can't be scared of competition. Eliminating your fear of competition and fear in general is the most important piece of game that you could ever learn as a man, because when you have no fear, anything is possible. Anytime I've ever competed for a girl or for a job or for some material thing and lost, it was because in some way, shape, or form, I was simply too scared to do what needed to be done to compete successfully for that thing. I was either too scared to say or do something that I needed to say, or I was too scared of what other people would think of me, or too scared of looking stupid or feeling embarrassed. But more importantly, I was too scared to compete. You see, as men, we should never be too scared to compete with other men, and it's in our nature to be competitive and to thrive on competition. And the less fear that we have to compete, or the less fear that we have in general, the more that we will find girls competing for us. This has been 15 years of game in 8 minutes, and with that said, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.